Welcome back. It's still Morning Rush on Metro Television. Like this one stated, we're talking to Dr. SHERIF Okyeere on hepatitis B. And Doc, as we always know, is from Amin Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. And this conversation is one that we need to talk about. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're good.
Yeah. I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm also good. Thanks for asking. I know
you're looking good.
Oh, thank you.
It's good coming from. Which camp are you from? Which of the S camps?
Oh, feel free, Doc. Feel free. I can tell you mine, though. Then you tell me.
Which
camp are you from? Are you from the high grade S, which is Samini? Are you from the Sarkodie, Success, Natives, or Nation? Are you from the Stoneboy Beam? And are you from the man himself, Shatawali, SM, Movement?
I think I come from all the camps.
Oh, that is a very diplomatic answer.
I love
all no, we all love everyone, but you know there's a favorite.
You see, the genre of music that they do, you know, for example, Samini is an old...
It's an OG.
Yes, an OG, yeah.
You get it. Yeah. You know, those times when you go on Samini shows, live band, and you enjoy it. You know, Shatawali has that vibe. You know, you know that vibe. That you know, and then you know, Stoneboy, you know, very diplomatic. You know, and that's streetwise. You know, so it's you see, you need to have all
a
those
taste of everyone's genre.
Yeah. I mean, do you have entertainment desk? They need to make you.
Yeah, you have to.
It's good to have you. Yeah.
I have
so
to.
always hepatitis this morning. I've had a lot of people do. So Ochama Kwame, he's been moving around
talking about
hepatitis. Really, I wouldn't say that I've taken too much notice of what exactly it is. I'm sure a lot of us must have had hepatitis B or Yamede, but really, I just read that it's a serious liver problem.
Yes.
It's a problem, serious one that we need to look at.
Yes. So hepatitis B is a very serious, you know, liver condition, and it's an infection caused by the hepatitis B virus. There are a lot of, you know, viruses that attack the liver, from hepatitis A, B, C, D, up to H. But you know, when you look at all these hepatitis infections, the very dangerous one is the hepatitis B. Now, when you are exposed to some of these infections, there are two stages that you go through, the acute and the chronic infection. Now, there are people who are exposed to this kind of infection, and it stays at the acute phase, you know, probably due to how strong their immunity is. So the immune system is able to suppress this condition from getting into, you know, the chronic stage. But then hepatitis B, people who, you know, move from the acute to the chronic stage, it can be severe to the extent that people can even get what we call hepatocellular carcinoma. Yes, it can cause liver cancer. Okay. So that is how serious.
And that's the name you mentioned.
Yes, hepatocellular carcinoma, or cancer of the liver. That is that is why, you know, when out there you see people having, you know, education about hepatitis B, and mostly the focus is on hepatitis B. That tells you how serious some of these conditions can be to our body.
If it's that dangerous, let's get this out of the way. Can it be cured?
Yes, it can be.
100%.
Yes, it can be, because I'm in Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, for example. You know, when you are exposed to the infection, when you go to the hospital, you test, and then you've tested positive to the antigen test. There's what we call the profile test that we have to do. Okay. So when we do the profile test, that is when the doctor will know how severe the condition has got into, or if you have a tendency of developing a chronic infection of that. And after that is established, there's what we call a viral load. No, so that's where you go to the lab, they take samples to check the quantity of, you know, viruses that is in the system. So people can have millions of viruses in the system. Now, Amin Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital over the years have been able to develop strategies that is able to help reduce, no matter the quantity of viruses that you have in your system as a result of hepatitis B, to the level where when you go to the lab, and you do the viral load, they will tell you it is at the unidentifiable stage. You understand? That is when the viral load has reduced to below 10.
Okay.
Yes, so no matter the millions of viruses that you have, we have medication that we've given to people. This is not just a word of mouth. It is proven. It is proven with labs and everything that people have taken the medications and their viral load has reduced from that levels to the unidentifiable stage. So it is curable.
Yeah.
So with this proof, I can boldly say that it is curable, especially when it comes to how many scientific about an alternative medical. But then there's a word out there that it is uncurable when you have hepatitis B.
Or when you cure a reoccurs and it comes back.
It has a tendency of reoccurrence because the virus stays within the body fluids, the blood, the semen, the secretions, and all those things. So, for example, if you're exposed and you get treated and you're exposed to these, viruses again, it has a tendency of coming back. But how does one get it? Because we've heard so many. I don't know if they are stories or myths or they are facts. If someone is sweating, you come into contact with the person, you get it. If you use the person's toothbrush or the person speaks to you, why can it get into your saliva? Because there are so many. Yes, so the mode of transmission of hepatitis B is through sexual contact.
Okay.
So just as I mentioned,
sexual transmitted disease.
It is not sexually transmitted disease, but because it stays in body fluids, so it can stay in your semen, your vaginal secretions, and all those things. Okay. So sexually, you can have that infection. Sharing of those times when we're in secondary schools and when one has a razor blade, you use it, you pass it on to your friends and all those things, bleed and all these sharp stuffs. So that mode one can also, for example, when you're using it, there's a cut, I use it, there's another cut, we can get this because there's blood, so you can be exposed to some of these. One of the most common mode of transmission now is what we call the vertical transmission. Vertical? Yes, that is when a mother passes it on to the child during birth. So that is the most common one.
It can be inherited.
Yes, so a mother can pass it on, especially in remote areas where when one is pregnant, the person doesn't even go to the hospital because if you go to the hospital during pregnancy and they notice it, there are measures that can be done to prevent that sort of transmission to the baby. So, of course, you can't transmit the infection through sweat and all those ones are myths. At certain point in time, it was there. So when you're in trouble,
you can't touch anybody.
So, but hepatitis B cannot be transferred in that.
You wear a sweater.
What is this thing called? What? Sanitizer to wipe your body and all that. So if generally in Ghana, I want to have I don't know if you will be able to respond to that, but generally in Ghana, what is the statistics like? Do we have an understanding of what this is? And for me, I think it's
Yes, I think it's a very, very common condition. I think in the world in general, we are looking about 200 to 350 million cases and about 1.5 million new cases every year. So it is very, very serious. It's very, very serious condition. And one thing about hepatitis B is there are people who can be infected with the condition and can go asymptomatic. So there are people, they have the condition, they don't show any sign, there's nothing wrong with them, they are fine, they are going about their duties. And that is one serious thing about hepatitis B. Okay. But, there are people who probably, I would say they are lucky and they will start, showing signs and symptoms. Like you're always getting weak, you're always feeling body weakness, you're always feeling general malaise as if there's malaria. You've taken malaria medication for God knows how long. But you're always feeling not fine. Signs of jaundice, in the extreme cases, you see people developing what we call splenomegaly, hepatomegaly, where the right upper quadrant, where the liver is, you see some pain that are intermittent, and at times it can be consistent, depending on how it is. The pain can move from mild to severe. You understand? So if you are always feeling pains here, you know, when you touch and you feel something's hard, especially when the liver becomes bigger as a result of the inflammations within the liver cells. And then, you know, at severe cases, you see people developing what we call ascites, because there's fluid accumulation within the abdominal cavity. You know, peripheral edema, swelling of the legs. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you see facial puffiness and all those things. All these things can be signs and symptoms of hepatitis B. But most especially if you're always feeling weak, general malaise, you've taken malaria medication, and it looks as if it always goes and comes. You need to get checked. You know, and one good thing about this hepatitis B is the fact that if you get tested and you are negative, there are vaccines there for you to take. There are shots there for you to take to protect you. You understand? So you don't need to even wait till you get there. You need to go to the hospital, get checked. If you are lucky and you are negative, go ahead and take your shots. That will prevent you from getting. I'm trying to remember
if I've ever taken any hepatitis B shots.
I think
it's very, very important.
I'm trying
very,
to,
very
because
important.
everything I rushed to the hospital, but I'm not really.
I should think in the university they came around.
Yes, you know, yes. So those times, you know, they'll come around and give the shots. But, you know, one thing is people default. Usually you have to take 3 shots. Maybe you take 1, 2.
I think I've taken it. I've taken it. I've taken it.
So it's the one that you take 2 shots.
Yes.
I remember last year.
No,
last year.
No, I took mine in 2021.
So that is
and you write it in a book. When you go, they actually I've taken it.
They give you. So it is very, very important
to
get checked in the first place. You need to get checked. And then if you are negative, you take the shot. But if you check and you are not lucky and you have the infection, you can always come to Amin Scientific about an alternative medical hospital. We'll take our time and take you through the process because it doesn't happen overnight. You understand? Treatment doesn't happen overnight. We'll take our time to take you through the process, which will help you out from all these, you know, problems that hepatitis B can come with. Because, you know, when the liver is infected, because the liver does so many things for the body, toxifying the body from toxins, producing some proteins and all those things, help, you know, with storage of bowel, synthesizing of proteins and fat and all those. So it's if the liver is infected, there's a lot of problem that predisposes the bodies to, because there are a lot of things that the liver can't do as a result of some of these infections.
So, I mean, I was just reading that the prevalence in Ghana is about 9.1%. And, you know, the cost of it also is very high. So the truth is that you need to make sure that you do not even get it in the first place.
Yes.
And if it happens, then you know that Army Scientific will be taking your money and will help you
out.
Of course, will help you out.
And of course, treatment for some of these things is quite on high.
Does the NHIS cover?
No, Amen doesn't. Although we work with some private.
I know private does, but there are some diseases. Yesterday we spoke about fibroid, and the guest who was here was calling for the NHIS boss to put it on to add it to the NHIS. So I was asking if hepatitis B is also.
I think for the public, facilities. But when you come to Amen, you need to pay.
You need to. You of course you have to pay. But like what Defo was saying is we are 9.1%. And we keep talking about this. When we started the conversation, that's when she said that Ochiame Kwame, he's been talking about it.
We need to.
How often do you get people walking into Amen to say,
No. So anytime you see someone coming, unless probably a partner has tested positive, and then they are also coming to check with their children and all those things. But this should be a voluntary something. Just go and get checked. If you're negative, there are solutions for you. You take your shots, and you don't have to worry about some of these things. You understand? So it's very, very important. And I think it's always better to take the precautionary measure than to wait for the condition to be severe. And all
I mean, for hepatitis B, as you mentioned, you can take a shot. It's not like the other one. The other one you can't take shots to cure it. You know, so just make sure that you get the shot. I remember that I took mine last year. Yeah, it was last year. So please.
I went to the lady who checked me. What's up? I think Quantine Hospital. So I think my last shot was given to me in the house.
Yeah,
yes, because she said,
I remember that.
I remember.
All right, so please make sure that you do get your shots. If not, then make your way to Amen Scientific, all the branches across the country, and of course in Accra, you can find them at Klagon. Right?
Yes, Klagon. Yes,
and the other one is
close to the Ashama Underbridge, and the other one is at Smith
Flats.
Yes,
yeah.
And all over Ghana, from Boga to Wa to Tamale to Sunyane to Takrady to Ho to Hohoi to Inche to Kwame Danso to Atebubu to Bibieni, all over. Just call Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital on 0244 227 192. And then on 0245 275 254. And the last one is 0207 229 505. You call any of these numbers and you can reach out to Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. And whatever problems that you are battling with, especially with hepatitis, I treat you. I can promise you on that when you come to Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we'll get a solution to it for you.
All right, so the numbers are on the screen.
Yes. I know we are wrapping up, but then someone's asking, can you use herbal in place of the injection?
As in the vaccine?
Yeah, no, getting cured.
Yes, that's yes.
Herbal is also
yes. So so when you come to Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical, so what we use is herbal, homeopathy, and naturopathic medicine.
Okay.
So whichever way that we think is best for your situation, we'll advise accordingly.
And whatever
and
happens, you get cured. That's
definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you have it. Make sure that you call the numbers on the screen or go to the centers across the country and get yourself deal with that, and all other things. Amen Scientific has got you covered on that. So Dr. Sherif, thank you so much for coming in this morning.